God, I'm exhausted. um, like, this is a double feature. I know you're probably feeling like, say, wow, like, you're exhausted from watching a double feature. No, I'm just tired in general. So this time, like I just said, double feature time. At Roadhouse from 1989, and Roadhouse from last year, which was 2024. Let's get started, but I have a clip I want to use.
Roadhouse. Roadhouse.
So, let's look back at the 1989 version. So, what happened in it? Well, Patrick Swayze stars as a bouncer, James Dalton as a newly refurbished Roadhouse bar, who protects a small town in Missouri from a corrupt businessman. I've seen a few of Patrick Swayze's films, but this is my first time seeing. When I saw it, first time seeing this film. I ended actually watching it 2 times because I watched it by myself, and then Mom goes like, "Oh, she is a huge fan of Patrick Swayze," and she's probably like, "Wait, you're watching both of them? Can I watch it too?" And I was like, "Okay, sure." And it was still a lot of fun to rewatch this film. One of the things that I'm gonna say about this film is in that a lot of these characters in this film, they are all pretty likable. Like, say, even the bad guys in this film, you can say, yeah, they're all doing great jobs as playing the bad guys of the film. And even looking back at it, you can really see why this is one of Patrick Swayze's, like, one of the films, like, yeah, he was great. Like, whether it's the sequences and, like, say, like, the first situation, like, say, when he is introducing himself to the, the bar at the Double Deuce.
Escort this gentleman to the door.
Do you see that shit?
Yeah.
And, like, telling him, like, say, hey, this is how it's gonna go, y'all. And all that. And I do kind of like how in the film, like, say, like, when he's first going into town and all that, like, he's buying a car, he's, like, renting a place out from a local farmer named Emmett. And yeah, you can really, like, the thing that makes it really helps the film is that you slowly get, like, understand all the relationships that Dalton ends up having with all these characters. Especially the character of Wayne Garrett, played by Sam Elliott. And looking back, my God, that man is still attractive, even in this film. It really is surprising. Like, say, yeah, like, he's kicking ass in this film.
You want to fight, dickless?
I sure ain't gonna show you my dick. Damn, that hurts, doesn't it?
The one thing that made me think, like, say, yeah, especially this is a film from the, like, 80s, the character of Brad Wesley, like, he is very much, like, one of those, like, classic bad guys who are relatively, like, say, okay, yeah, the guy who's, like, say, well, I have all this money, I'm going to use it, and I'm going to show how much I'm in charge. um like say like he has like a lot of great fights in this film, whether he is fighting the character of Reno in the like the lake house. And the one thing that makes this film a bit more interesting as it goes is like, yeah, in the past, Dalton had ended up killing a man, and he is basically the um woman that like Dalton ends up falling for, in this case Elizabeth Clay. um she basically says, like, see, after she sees him kill Reno, she's like say, I'm not going anywhere with you, because she was like say, yeah, like yeah, like basically, yeah, like Brad, he's a bad dude, but how are you two no different? In a way, like, cause yeah, like you can see like the reason being, because like, yeah, he is defending her, he is all that, but then like her suddenly see how the violentness of it, you go like say, shoot.
I'm gonna kill you the old-fashioned way.
Um, and then like say, yeah, like I do think the fight sequence at the end of the film between like Brad and Dalton, like like they are all like at his compound, in which like they have, he uses like a knife to keep his car going and all that. Um, like they have like um a polar bear follow on a dude. This film is pretty entertaining. Like, having never seen it before previously, I really liked it. This is one of those films where I'm gonna say, yeah, I feel like could come back and watch this film relatively easily. It's a very entertaining film that still holds up even today. So now that we look at that one, let's look at the most recent film from 2024. So before this film had came out, originally there was the idea of having Ronda Rousey, um, in a version of Roadhouse, um, where she would have played basically like the bouncer of a bar in a way, and like that film version of it never got to happen, and eventually we got this version with Jake Gyllenhaal, and like, yeah, I remember when the like say the advertisements for this one was coming out. So like at this point, I didn't have much to like say. Like until like I had to do this review, I did not have like much of a interest. But let's talk about it. Um, in the film, Jake Gyllenhaal plays a ex-UFC fighter who takes a job as a bouncer at a Florida Keys Roadhouse. The thing about this one that makes it different is in that, yeah, like the character of um Elwood Dalton, yeah, he is he is a fighter. At the beginning of the film, yeah, he's scamming fighters, because like, yeah, what ends up happening is like, in the past he had gone too far in a fight, and then like say some guys are going to say, no, I ain't find him, he's too dangerous and all that. So he ends up getting approached by a woman named Frankie to like like become a the bouncer to like at a Roadhouse in the Florida Keys. The thing that makes this film rather different than the Patrick Swayze version is in that, like, yes, the the fight choreography for this film, and like the stunt work for this film are all pretty good. Like like the fact that they decided to say, okay, we're gonna have this film take place in Florida, like in the coastal, almost Cuba, like in Cuba, is like say, okay, yeah, this is a great idea, especially if you're going to try to remake um Roadhouse. Like you're going to change the location. You're going to try and be a bit more over the top with it.
It's kind of like a win, man.
Like I win?
It's a tie, Dale.
Yeah, like we win together, you know?
Well, fuck you.
Fuck, man.
I'm gonna kill you!
Especially in the fact you have Conor McGregor as the character of Nux. And when his character ends up getting introduced, it's just like say, like he ends up coming out of like say an apartment in Italy, like after like making love to a woman, and like he's just like, because the bad guy of the film, his dad goes like say, listen here, little man, you seem to be messing up, and all that.
Oh, scusa.
So, what do you need? Yeah. I leave right away.
Yeah, the one thing that is a bit different compared to the previous, the 80s version of Roadhouse is in that, like, yes, the character of Elwood, like, he will fight, like, like, in, like, say, the bar and all that to try to, like, say, like, calm things down. At the same time, he's also more of a bit of a teacher in a way, in that, he is willing to say, okay, like, this is how you need to, this is, like, have someone, like, like, say, okay, this is how you're gonna knock them out in a way. And one thing it also changes is in that the character of Frankie, she is the one who gives him the place he stays at, which is like, a boathouse and all that. I can say the fight sequences for this film are just, oh my gosh, they are so gosh over the top. There's a sequence in which, like, like after Dalton had been, threatened, like, multiple times, like say one member of the villains gang group, they say, okay, you have been annoying from me last time, so he like throws the dude into the the body of water where the boat is at, and this happens.
So you gonna kill me now?
Why would I kill you?
Well, that was stupid. I'm just gonna go right back. Oh, shit! Oh, wait!
Hang on, I got.
Oh! Fuck you!
Yup. If you're here from, like, the coastal area, hey, don't mess with gators. Don't mess with them. I can say I had a lot of fun with this film. It was like, it's like say everyone is having a lot of fun with it. I think makes this film different compared to the other version. Isn't the character of Ben Bratt? He is a bit more of like say, like almost like say, the rich tech bro, who is like say, like, yeah, like, don't you dare tell me the word no, and all that kind of like vibes. and at the same time, like you kind of enjoy it when like say okay, like the character of Nux, like when he is just just showing up, because like yeah, um, Connor, he is like say along with Jake, he they are both having a lot of fun when it comes to this film. Um, and I do kind of think that some of the other actors, they kind of help like push the film to like say what the more dramatic elements, like say like when Dalton discovers um like say um they have like say a bookstore that he first like when he gets into town, and like say the bad guys of the group, they basically burn it down. And so like yeah, like that is like say several of those kind of moments are what helps him continues on.
Just as long as you're scared.
I just broke the hyoid bone in your throat. Probably also collapsed your trachea. Either way, you won't be able to breathe anymore. You know, it's strange. Somebody else asked me if I was afraid today. And I am afraid. I'm afraid of what happens when somebody pushes me too far.
Also, the other thing is that the character of Ellie, she is a bit different in that compared to the other film, in that like the romance, it's there. Yeah, at the end of the film, he basically goes like say, you need to get out of here for your safety because like say yeah, it could get worse. Which I had the previous film like say Dalton's continue stays there, and the romance kind of blossoms even more. I kind of like this one. I thought this one wasn't too bad. I thought the fact that they changed locations for it, they decided to have Dalton as a UFC fighter, kind of like helps make it more, modernizes it in a way, and makes it kind of work in a way. And at the same time, the film has a bit like say, okay, you're going a bit over the top, and at the same time, it is a very, like okay, you can respect how over the top it's trying to be with as a B movie kind of film.
What the is he doing?
Because and honestly, this is what it is. This is a over the top action B movie. So, yeah, like one thing that, but at the same time, like yeah, like it seems like say when it comes down to it, Dalton in this film, he doesn't really like like yeah, he's there to at the bar. He's not really there to like say okay, like yeah, he's there to like stop the group, the bad guys. But it's mostly like say when they are outside the bar, and at the same time like say, like like okay, hey, we're gonna stop it, out of the bar, instead of like say okay, and all that. I do love the big boat sequence in which basically he causes an explosion, and all that, because I was expecting the character of Ben to have a over the top like say, now you listen to me, like these over the top like villain freak out moments. those are always entertaining. But this one was pretty good. See you next time. Like, yeah, this is a good double feature. If you, I mean, yeah, they're both on Prime. If you have it. See you next time.